I'm a huge fan of Drake, but I'm not a stan. I call it how I see it. But if you clicked on this video hoping to hear somebody slandering Drake, boy, did you click the wrong one. Drake has been one of my favorite rappers over the last 15 years, and it's crazy to see how much he's grown from 2008 to now. He seems like a completely different person. And when it comes to his solo albums over the last few years, while I do enjoy them, it kind of feels like Drake is on autopilot because instead of making a complete body of work, it seems like he's focusing more on making these playlist-like albums, which I don't blame him because clearly it works. And we finally get to the ICEMAN era. I feel like we've been hearing about ICEMAN forever at this point, but ICEMAN was one of the most anticipated albums of this decade, and we finally got it last Friday, and he delivered. At least to me. Drake surprised everyone Thursday night when he announced at the end of his stream that he was dropping 3 albums at the same time. Now, I don't know about you, but it's been kind of hard to find time to listen to all 3 albums. But when it comes to ICEMAN, I've listened to ICEMAN maybe 5, 6, 7 times at this point. Drake was rapping his ass off. The conversation around Drake in this album has been hilarious because on one side, you have the Drake fans who seem like they really love this album. And then on the other side, you got the Drake haters who seem to be pissed off that people are enjoying it. It is a lot to talk about with this album. So we're gonna break this video down by talking about the features, production, lyrics, and overall thoughts. But let's talk about the features real quick because it's not a lot of them. Drake over the last 2 years had to publicly watch a lot of people switch up on him. I'm talking about people that he would call his brothers. A lot of them turn their backs on him. LeBron, for example. I love LeBron. I'm a huge LeBron fan. LeBron looks fake as hell in this situation. Like, if you don't understand from Drake's perspective why he's so upset, I'm looking at you kind of crazy because you probably a terrible friend. But LeBron, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled was moving shaky. DeMar DeRozan, again, from a friend perspective, DeRozan looks insane. J. Cole was moving shaky. With this project, everybody was wondering, who is Drake cool with? Is he gonna have no features? If he does have features, who is it gonna be? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want Smiley anywhere near ICEMAN. This album is 18 tracks long and we only get 3 features. And I love that. 21 Savage does the hook for Bees on the Table, and I like that song. I thought 21 sounded great on it. It's a very simple and straightforward hook. It's extremely catchy. I mean, my broke ass can't relate to it. On the song, Drake is talking about his contract negotiations and the offers that he's receiving. At one point, he even mentions the lawsuit saying, "I'm suing the man, not the rapper. Y'all not listening." But the court case, who's suing who, that could be a completely different video. Drake on this song is talking about a bunch of numbers that my broke ass will never see in my life. I'm just so happy 21 Savage only did the hook because I did not need a verse. This was a cool song. And then we get Run to Atlanta with Molly Santana and Future. Drake has put me onto a lot of random rappers over the years, and this was my first time even hearing the name Molly Santana. I fucking hated her verse the first few times I listened to this song, but once I stopped focusing on what she was actually saying and just vibing out to it, this was hard. This is a prime example of turn your brain off music. I hated this verse the first few times that I listened to this song, but I can't lie. Over the last 48 or so hours, I keep randomly finding myself going, Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana, Molly Santana, no Hannah Montana. And this song also features Future. I hate this. I love Future. I'm a big fan of Future. I love his part on the beat switch, but I do not understand how Drake is back cool with this man when he's the reason that the Civil War in 2024 kicked off in the first place. This man, Future, created 2 albums dissing you. We don't trust you. We still don't trust you. On those 2 albums, he put a bunch of features from people that don't like you. Those 2 albums contributed to the 20v1 narrative. And you get back cool with them? And I don't think this is a hot take, but to me, this is by far one of their worst collaborations. Like, I get why they did it. They did it for a look. They did this as a statement, but Drake is way more forgiving than me. And do not get me wrong, this song is not bad by any stretch, but I just personally wouldn't be able to forgive Future at least this quickly, but maybe I'm childish. All right, let's talk about some of the production on ICEMAN. As of this recording, I can't find a complete list of producers, or at least an accurate one. Apple Music still doesn't have anything, and Wikipedia seems like it doesn't have everyone, like it's still being updated. But from what I have seen, at least if the list that I'm looking at is accurate, I am surprised by the lack of production from both Boy Wonder and 40. If this list is accurate, it looks like they only have one song each. But I enjoyed the production on this album. I feel like Drake has always had a great ear for beats. But the main complaint that I have, not just with this album, but hip hop in general at this point, for the love of God, can we please relax with the beat switches? This man Drake has 8 beat switches in the first 3 songs. The opening track, Make Them Cry, kind of reminds me of Tuscan Leather. I don't mind the beat switches there, but the next song, Dust, I do like this song, and I don't know if this is a hot take, but for me personally, I wish the entire song was just like that beginning portion. Like for me, that beginning portion when he's talking about girls from Atlanta, girls from Australia, that's my favorite part. But I could say the same about National Treasure, which is one of my favorite songs on this project. I wish the entire song was him just rapping on that first part of the beat, but maybe that would have got repetitive. I feel like he did that a lot throughout this album. It's like he'll find a pocket that I like, and then he'll just completely change directions. Too Hard for the Radio is another example. And again, I do like this song, but I just like the first part better. The first part of the song kind of reminded me of Nokia, and then the beat switches, and then he does his attempt at Squabble Up. Towards the end of the album, I do feel like some of the beats did get a little stale, but overall, I like the production. Let's get to the bars. At this point, I'm sure you already know this, but just in case you don't, on this album, Drake got a lot of smoke for niggas. And with this album, Drake did what some people have been begging him for years to do, which is to make an album in which he's strictly rapping. And we finally get that. Like on this album, there are multiple songs in which it seems like the song doesn't have a real hook, or at least a real catchy hook. He has multiple songs on this project where he's just rapping for 4 to 5 minutes straight. An opener like Make Him Cry, where he's venting about his life over the last 2 years, doesn't have a hook, and he's just rapping for like 5 minutes. The funny thing when it comes to conversations about Drake is that it seems like for some people, they're never satisfied. Like, it's been incredible to watch over the last 2 years. People have tried to dictate what Drake can and can't talk about on his own album. On the song, Drake says, "When I dig deep, they say dig deeper. Tell us how it felt to meet the Grim Reaper," referring to people wanting to hear Drake talking about losing to Kendrick. Niggas want to talk about a battle. I'm battling patience. Nigga, I'm battling frustration. I'm about to turn 40, dog. I'm battling aging. I'm battling the fact that the album ain't even dropped, and already they ass is complaining. When it comes to Drake, it's just so weird to me because some people are never satisfied. This man is talking about his dad having cancer, and just like Drake has done throughout the majority of his career, he's being vulnerable and venting to listeners. For this entire album, it kind of felt like therapy for Drake because there's points in this project where he's admitting defeat. It's points in this album where he's expressing the frustration of people that he called his brothers turning their back on him. And there's points in this album where as a human, he's like, nah, fuck all that. I want the smoke. On Janice STFU verse 2, he was going crazy on Kendrick, talking about how white people listen to him because they feel guilt. Now, I'm not going to say any names, but it is some truth in that. Like, what are the odds that every single white person in hip hop media, they all love Kendrick and they never have anything bad to say? But let's continue. Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood, then you go back to the hills. Maybe at this point it's because Drake has had more time to reflect, but hearing these type of bars makes me even more confused when it comes to the battle because Drake could have easily painted Kendrick out to look like one of the biggest hypocrites in hip hop, but instead we got a bunch of short jokes and he decided to go with the angle of that kid's not really yours. Drake is taking shots at a bunch of people on this project. On the song Whisper My Name, he jokes about how you idiots say that you would take dinner with Jay-Z instead of $500,000. And maybe it's just me, but it's always hilarious when rappers call normal people like me a bunch of broke boys. Like Rick Ross is one of my favorites when he's talking that talk. But on this song, Drake says, "If I'm lying, I'm flying. Economy." I mean, we talking about a guy with his own private jet. It's multiple songs on this project where you can do lyrical breakdown videos of just that song. Make 'Em Pay is another standout, and it might be the best song on this entire album. This entire section of the song is incredible, where he's taking jabs at Hove, J. Cole, and Kendrick. Drake said he'd rather die than submit like J. Cole. We all know what J. Cole did, and say what you want about Drake, but at least 9 times out of 10, for better or worse, he's going to engage. He talks about K-Dot and the alleged stream farms that he and some TDE artists are using, saying that 100 million streams vanished. Now, I don't remember if that was ever proven to be true or false, but I don't know. He also says, I got all the chains that they ever repped in Virginia. I got niggas prized possessions. I get possessive on niggas. As a guy that's from Virginia, I'm from Richmond, Virginia. As a guy that loves Pharrell, as a guy that loves the Clips, that hurts a little bit. The Rick Ross, Aiden Ross flip was insane. DJ Khaled gets a shot for being the slimy loser that he is. This song is incredible. Also, shout out to Taz Angels. Great memories. It's so much to digest and talk about with this album, but I don't want this video to be an hour long. If you've ever complained that Drake doesn't rap anymore, this album is for you. I mean, come on, we talking National Treasure, Make Them Remember, Firm Friends. This might be some of the best rapping that Drake has done this entire decade. People on the internet are sheep and people are starting to say the same thing. Oh my God, he's doing a bunch of victim raps. I don't take none of this as that. Like, him reflecting on his life, him being a participant in one of the biggest rap battles in hip hop history, him being a loser, him having to deal with the Super Bowl, having to deal with the multiple Grammys, him actually being, this is his life. He's the one that's getting laughed at. He's getting called the P word and a bunch of other things. Him reflecting on the last 2 years is not him coming off as a victim. At no point in this album do I hear a Drake bar and it sounds like he's saying, hey guys, feel sorry for me. Drake gets killed for his pen a lot, but this ain't the album to do that. All right, so let me talk about how I feel about this album overall. Just basing off of my first listen, I thought from jump, this was a good album. After listening to this multiple times at this point, I think this is a really good album, and I feel like this is going to grow on me even more. Like, I see myself playing this album all summer. I really hate the dark cloud that's over hip hop, especially the conversations around somebody like a Drake or a Kendrick Lamar. Like, you have Drake haters, people that say they don't like Drake. They was up at midnight. They saw 3 albums drop. They listened to 3 hours of music just so they can say they don't like it. I don't like Taylor Swift. I'm not staying up to listen to a Taylor Swift album. If you don't like an artist, you do not need to listen. People want Drake to make music just like Take Care or Nothing Was the Same. That's not him anymore. Make Them Remember is the last song of this album, and the final words that we hear from Drake is, what happened to Drake from 2009 when all of the moments was intimate? What happened to Drake with the innocence? I don't think we'll be seeing him again. As a longtime fan, in a way, it is kind of sad to hear him say that. Like I said at the beginning of this video, Drake today seems like a completely different person, but 15 years of dominance, 15 years of success will do that to you. Drake has talked about this very thing multiple times throughout the years. Like, I forgot which song it was. I think it was off of More Life, but in one song Drake said, imagine me still rapping like I never made it. Or on the song like 30 for 30 freestyle, what Drake said, I just listened to Closer to My Dreams, wide-eyed and uneducated at 19. I can't rap like that, all young and naive, not after everything I've seen and the things I believe. That was off the top of the head, just pure memory. But Drake is a different person today. I forgot the exact line, but Jay-Z also said something along these lines. Like, he said, people want my old stuff, buy my old albums. ICEMAN also reminded me that people on the internet don't know what they're talking about. For the last 2 to 3 years, I've heard multiple times people saying that Drake's next album, ICEMAN, is going to be the album that fulfills his UMG contract. Drake just dropped 3 albums. You know what people are saying now? Drake just fulfilled his contract with those 3 albums. If he did this move strictly just to get out of his contract, I get it. But if he was trying to capitalize and get the most numbers possible, which it seems like he's still doing extremely well. I just saw the first projections. It's projecting that he's going to make, I think, 475 to 500,000 in the first week. So it seems like he's doing good, but I thought that he was going to hurt himself because he put out so much music. Like, it's being projected that his other 2 albums are also going to do 100,000 plus. But imagine all those streams going into ICEMAN. ICEMAN could have had 600,000-700,000. But Drake literally gave people what they wanted and gave people what they've been complaining about for years. You want a rap album? Here's a rap album. You want an R&B album? Here's an R&B album. You want a house and international album? Here's a house international album. And people are still complaining. I will say I am happy that he did split these albums up, because the R&B one, Habibity, whatever that album is called, I only listened to that a few times. I do enjoy that project as of now, but that house album was the first one that I listened to because that was the only one on the streaming platform that worked. That house album is garbage. And I'm saying this, I liked Honestly Nevermind. I don't know if it might grow on me later, but as of right now, that Maid of Honor album, trash. Looking at this track list, I like almost every song on this album. The only songs that I don't like as of now, the only songs that I don't like is probably Little Birdie and Don't Worry. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. Like, I see online a lot of people are complaining about the song Shebang. I think that's what the song is called. Y'all are crazy. That song is fire. Burning Bridges is crazy. Plot twist, bro. If you've been on social media, you know we've been waiting on plot twists for a minute now, and all these songs go crazy in the whip. So if you're new to the channel, whenever I do a video talking about an album, I always like to say my 5 favorite songs from that project. On this album, if I had to pick my 5 favorite songs, I'm going with Make Them Cry, Whisper My Name, Make Them Pay, Plot Twist, and Make Them Remember, with honorable mentions being Burning Bridges and National Treasure. I can't really speak for the other albums, but when it comes to ICEMAN, he delivered. Like, we have to wait and see how this album ages over time, but as of right now, this album is incredible to me. If you do not like this album, go cry under some other YouTube video. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. ICEMAN is finally here. What are your thoughts? Did you like this project? Did you hate this project? Is Drake washed? What's your favorite song on this album? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. As always, remember to tell somebody that you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.